Montana.
Blame it on Bob. You're live.
Say live.
Okay.
Hello.
Sorry we're late. We were talking about Dina's birthday weekend plans, and then we decided that probably isn't as appropriate for all of you to hear.
Well, we got a celebrity in the house today, guys.
Where's the celebrity? Yeah.
Right here.
Okay.
Rahima is back. Who is excited that Rahima is back with us today?
Okay. Text me.
Well, I'm excited to be here.
Yeah.
Okay,
I'm
so
excited you're here.
I have so many things to talk to you about today. First of all, my morning was just heck because there was a storm last night and everything is broken.
It
right?
rained in Arizona, guys.
It finally rained, and we got monsoon, so trees fell down, shades fell down, windows got busted, roofs flew off, like it was bananas, especially in the East Valley. We got through all of that, and then I have two clients in town, Miami, LA. They're here for a house. Man, they got everything set up. They opened up their LLC. They opened up their bank account. They wired the funds. They're ready to go. I get to Keely. I'm like, Keely, what do you got? We got 2 deals. Wonderful. Oh, but one of them you can't see till 5 o'clock. I said, no, I cannot wait till 5 o'clock. I got a date till 5 o'clock. Yeah. So I said, I'm going to go drive it right now. It's literally 10 a.m. I go, I'm peering through the windows. I'm like, this is a good deal, guys. Let's get it. Sign the contracts in the car. I call them up and I'm like, Fidelity, which Fidelity do I have to go to? They're like, any Fidelity, doesn't matter. Just go to a Fidelity, drop off the EM. On the way to the bank to get the EM, done. We got snaked. Somebody got the EM before we did. Obviously, somebody else decided to buy it sight unseen as well, and we lost the property. And that happened twice today.
So this happens when you're not getting the deal exclusively, right? So it starts with that. So best practices, guys. If you know you've got a really hot buyer that always closes, give them the first at bat.
Right? I mean, this was a new one, so they didn't know.
Oh,
They didn't know. This is,
okay.
brand new relationship. They were ready to go though, and so I felt bad that they lost it. But I really appreciate you calling Jody at Fidelity
Jody
and asking her, because remember back in the day in like 2009 when we were sending deals in, we would actually be able to just send a pile of money to escrow, and they would keep it in their trust account. And as we were finding deals, especially because Jamil and I were buying short sales back then, so we would have like minutes to get the EM in and get that contract signed, and then it's the waiting game. But minutes to get it in, and then you wait. And we would just leave the money in escrow. But now you're telling me, well, Jody's telling us they can't do that anymore.
Nope, DFI said no.
Oh, that's a shame.
But we did find a workaround.
Yeah.
That's a really great solution.
So tell me your workaround. I love that workaround.
Yeah, I mean, and we both learned something even before we went live. It was like right at 5:59 or 4:59.
Yeah.
And if you know that you have a deal that you need to lock up, they can actually accept your earnest money with a contract to follow and some wire instructions.
Yeah, there you go. So, I mean, that's a big deal. And, I love that I'm saying this right now, but the market is hot.
It's hot. It's not just our temperatures here, guys. Our market is hot.
If we're losing deals like that, then the market is heating up. Maybe it's not like sizzle yet, but it's definitely heating up. So if there's a way for me to be able to call Fidelity and say, hey, Fidelity, I don't have the contract yet because that's going to take me a minute, but give me the wiring instructions, or I'm around the corner from a Chase Bank. I got the check. I'm sending you a picture. There's the check.
Yep.
It's going to be dropped off at this Fidelity, because luckily there's a Fidelity everywhere. It's like Fidelity near me.
Yeah.
It's McDonald's near me. That's my 2 things on my searches: McDonald's near me, Fidelity near me. And then just drop it off, and then that way it's locked in, right?
And then we handle it from there, yeah.
That might be something you guys have to think about again as the market is heating up, because there are deals, and if you lose that deal, it's really kind of heartbreaking. Like, these guys were sad.
They're sitting in their Airbnb tonight waiting for their phone to ring because you're going to find them something else.
Yeah, Keely is going to find them something else for sure. I told them, I'm like, guys, grind it out tonight. Just don't go home, find me a house.
So what are these guys looking for? Maybe somebody's watching this has a deal that we don't know
about.
They
literally just want, this is a first deal, right? I'm going to work the whole project for them. So they're new at this, but I'm not new at this. So a 3-2 or a 4-3, Doesn't matter where it is. I'll take it from Tolleson to Queen Creek, anywhere in the valley. Doesn't need to be any newer than a 1970 build. I like 70s. I like the 70s because I'm a 70s. But I like them because I generally don't have to redo the plumbing. When we get into the 50s, I have to redo the plumbing. But the 70s, I'm okay with.
It's polybutylene.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But the 50s is clay, and that's done. So as soon as that buyer comes in, the retail buyer comes in, they do a sewer check. There's no line there. It's like newspaper and clay. So that ends up costing us money because we don't wait for the inspection to tell us that. We just do it. We get it done.
So what kind of price ranges? We're right now, guys, we are live on Title Talk trying to find Rahima's buyers a deal.
Find me a deal. Whatever the price, the buy price point is fine. I need about $100,000 spread in there, but my ARV should be under 5, something under 5.
And you looking mostly for something to fix up?
Yeah, I need a little bit rough. You know.
Quarter houses.
Yeah, I love
me
border
some
houses.
border houses.
You know, I always say, Jamil, it doesn't matter if it's clean because they'll say to me, no, it's really clean. It's not going to cost that much. Hey, but it doesn't matter if it's clean. It's 1970. I still got to pull it all out. So might as well get me a nice poopy hoarder house because then at least we get it for a good price.
And you don't have to deal with popcorn ceilings.
Oh yeah, popcorn ceilings aren't as bad as everybody thinks. They're pretty easy. Wet them and scrape them off.
I remember our first house had popcorn ceilings.
Yeah,
Mhm.
right? Yeah. I grew up in popcorn ceilings for sure. What else were we talking about today? Hey, did you read that article about the iBuyers? The iBuyers were net sellers in the last few quarters. You've been reading that?
Mhm.
But not net sellers the way we would think. Net sellers by like 40. So they're still buying.
They're still buying, but we actually, I think, Tina Tambor on our last market update, she called them sellers. Really, here in Arizona, it's more like they're institutional sellers because they've been trying to offload their properties versus purchasing
So these would be properties they bought when?
the last couple of years.
So they bought them high and they're selling them.
Yeah,
Does that make
they're
sense to
losing
you?
money.
Does that make sense to you?
It doesn't make sense to me,
Right.
but that's the reality.
Anybody know why they're doing that? Anybody have a reason why these guys would have bought 2 years ago when they were really like aggressively buying, and then geez, you're asking me where do I send the deal? Send it right here. Just write it down.
Yeah,
Put it in there.
and people can also find you on Instagram, right?
Yeah. But I don't know how to work Instagram. I have no idea.
You could probably, text or email the deal too.
Yeah, you want to text me? My number's 310-869-2080.
Because they might not want to put all the
they-
specifics
yeah,
in the
yeah,
comments
yeah,
because they
don't-
want to give you something
No, just give it to
exclusively.
me.
So who is that?
I don't have my glasses on.
I can't see that.
Mibaraka Jordan.
Mibaraka Jordan.
Okay,
Text
310-869-2080.
If we can sell a deal live on Title Talk, that would be awesome.
Okay, send me the details. Text me the details. So I need to know, if you send me some pictures if you can. The buy price, the ARV, send me the comp, send me the pictures, and send me an address. Let's see what we can do right now.
Well, our market is definitely hot here in Arizona. I know you guys are, if you're scrolling through Instagram and Facebook, I've seen a million memes about how we're all preparing for fall, but it's still 118 degrees out. I was in Hobby Lobby the other day and they had Christmas all ready to go. No, I'm not kidding.
This is July still, right? Yeah, we're
It's
in
Christmas
July.
in July. It's
I love that.
Christmas in July.
But Hobby Lobby is always kind of Christmassy. Yeah.
Oh, but it's like half the store. I mean,
Wow.
their Christmas trees are out. They're ready to go. I cannot get into the Christmas spirit until it cools off a little bit.
Till October? Is that what you're hoping for?
Yeah.
Then you're not going to get any decorations.
No.
Because if you haven't bought your Halloween decorations after Valentine's Day, you're not decorating for Valentine's. And if you're not buying your Christmas decorations by July, then you're not decorating for Christmas.
Are you a big decorator?
I am for Halloween. I'm
Oh.
bananas when it comes to Halloween. I have like all the stuff. The cotton candy machine, the popcorn machines, the full-size sodas, full-size candy bars, all the toys.
Oh, they want to
There's
go to
music.
People should go trick or treating at
You
your
should
house.
come to my house. I mean, van loads of kids come to my house. And there's lineups, like 30, 40 deep, because we have people making these big heads of cotton candy.
Wow.
Wonderful.
Do
I
you
love
set
cotton.
it up in front too?
Oh,
so
yeah.
people know it's
Oh,
welcome?
yeah, absolutely. Absolutely.
my girlfriend Mary does the most elaborate Halloween decorating anybody I've ever seen.
Really?
She does a party every other year,
Okay.
and she's already getting ready for it because, like, literally artwork comes off the wall and it turns into like a Halloween ghost fest. So, any of my friends that are watching this know Mary Flynn, you know what I'm talking about.
My grandpa always said to me and to the family, if kids come to your house and they're asking for candy, give them the best you got.
Oh, I love that.
So I mean, literally, we don't just give it to the kids; we give it to all the parents too. We're like, hey, you're out here, grab what you want, take what you want. There's tables of treats, and it's great. It's a great party.
Truth be told, it really doesn't start to cool off here until after Halloween.
Right. So the kids are like in there. I mean, Halloween for Jamil and I, we would have a winter jacket on and snow pants, and we were just out there for the candy. I mean, we were not thinking about what we were wearing and what our costume. We didn't care. We would have like some red circles on our face. I'm a clown, whatever. Just what do you got? What do you got? Who's got Recess? Who's got Reese's peanut butter cups? Who's got the Snicker bars? It was all about free candy because we'd make that candy last until January. We'd be eating that candy for a while, so we needed a few bags of loot.
Like pillowcases, not regular size.
Oh yeah,
bags.
pillowcases, and we would get driven around. Like we planned this out. Like which neighborhood we're gonna go to, where's the biggest ROI? It's probably where Jamil got his first return on investments is how early do we start, and then what's the return on investment? Yeah, that's where Jamil learned ROI. It was like 3 years old and we were trick or treating.
That's so fun. And so for those of you guys that are watching this and wondering, why am I seated next to this beautiful lady? It is because Jamil is in Montana today.
Yep, he's in Montana. There's a big party going on in Montana.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's what I hear. So
But we're
I
having a
hope,
party
I
at his
hope you're
house
having
instead.
fun
Yeah.
at that party, guys. I mean, you're missing out here, but have a good time at your Montana party. So anybody got questions? Anybody feeling this, what I've been feeling, where you're like ready for a deal, and there's just so many buyers out there that you're not getting the deal? Anybody feeling that right now?
And across the country, what I'm curious about is like what markets are this hot, where deals are literally
Flying off the shelf.
flying on the shelf, sight unseen, at really good prices.
Yeah, I mean, we're still the 2 deals we didn't get were in the 3s. ARV was just under 5. So a house in the 3s. When was that?
Yeah,
when did you get that?
That doesn't happen. I mean, you used to be able to find that 10 years ago.
Yeah. Yeah.
10 years ago, you could find that in town, but now, no, that's really,
They were great deals.
really good deals.
Man, I mean, my buyers were really unhappy.
Well, I still have a feeling that one that you didn't actually get to go into, since the other buyer didn't get to go in, you never know. Like, it could come back.
Maybe,
It could come back.
yeah, you never know. And he says, I'm feeling that I've been getting outbid on almost everything. Yeah. I mean, it's which market are you in?
Yeah, we'd love to know what markets you're in and if you're feeling all kinds of pressure that you're getting beat out on deals today, or if you've just got so many deals that they aren't selling. We would love to know, guys.
So I see your notes here. You have notes for me?
Yeah, we talk about
Aw.
like special things on Title Talk, right?
How did I get into this business? Oh, that's easy. Jamil made me get into this business. If it was
Peer pressure?
Yeah, sibling pressure. If it was up to me, I'd be working in a boutique, in some kind of fashion industry. Like either I would have maybe worked my way up to being a buyer by now, because that's all I ever wanted to do.
Well,
was-
you kind of are.
Buy
Just you're in
clothes.
real estate to make money, to go buy clothes
Yes,
and shoes and
yes.
fabulous things that you love.
Yes, but that was my thing. I was either going to be a flight attendant or I was going to get in fashion. And Jamil didn't want wasn't going to accept any of that. He's like, no, kiddo, you're coming with me. We're doing this together. And that's how it started. So I literally started because my brother made me do it.
So you got a little sweat equity
Yeah.
on the contracting side so that you can have more shoes.
Yes.
Yeah,
More shoes.
More shoes.
Our first deal in Arizona, I remember he says to me, Rahima, I need you to renovate this house. I mean, we're brand new in Arizona. It was a house. It was a really interesting purchase for us because we knew a realtor. So this is, again, one of Jamil's relationships with the realtor. He knew this realtor from cold calls and he had made friends with her. Her name was Diane. She says, I got this deal. It's a beautiful tile stucco house. I can get it for you for $270,000 in Arrowhead. But it's a short sale, but the owner won't leave.
What?
So if you can somehow get the owner to get out, you can have this house. And we said, okay, let's see what we can do. So he sends me, and I have my mom with me that day. So I said, Mom, let's just go. Let's just try. We rang the doorbell. I had these really nice Gucci heels and a blue Chanel blouse. I knew exactly what I was wearing. I knocked on
Do
the
you still have the
door.
blouse?
Yeah. I buy those pieces. I keep them forever. They'll be buried in that blouse.
Vintage.
Yeah. He opened the door and he actually looked at my shoes and says, "You're not from a bank." And I said, I'm not from a bank. And he let me in, he let us in, and the house was a mess. I mean, he had a couple dogs, and the dogs were using the house as a bathroom.
Oh, that's special.
So we knew that there was some sadness here, right? So we sat down and talked to him, and I said, what's going on? You know you're getting foreclosed upon.
Yeah.
You know that you're not going to be able to stay here much longer. Well, I lost my mom here. I lost my partner here. I feel like they're here. I don't know where to go. I don't know what to do. I don't have the strength to even move on. Well, I called Jamil and said, this is what we got to do. We got to find a sad place to go.
We gotta help him.
Yeah. And that was our first deal in Arizona together. And we found him a place to move into. We moved him and his dog into another property, and we were able to secure that house.
That's awesome.
Yep, it was fantastic. And that was my very first flip here in Arizona. So I flipped the house, we changed the floor, we did all the stuff. I remember because I didn't go all the way up on the shower when I tiled it.
Oh.
I left this much space, about 7 inches, 8 inches.
On purpose?
No, yeah, I didn't know.
Oh.
First time.
Yeah, that's how you learn.
Man, Jamil gave me shit. I had to bring in tile to match that tile from Florida, pay the freight, and finish that shower up. But we did such a good job on that flip. My mom made us buy it. She made us keep the house, and we moved in
That's
it.
so funny. So you lived there.
We ended up living there for
Wow.
almost 2 years. It was nice. It was a really nice house. And so really I got into it because of my brother, and I stuck with it because I enjoy working with him. And even though we don't really do flips together so much anymore, I still bounce ideas off of him, have him come if I'm a little stuck and say, hey, can you come look at this with me? Or he'll do the same and say, hey, can you renovate this for me? So we're not working hand in hand anymore on the flips, but we still, include each other every now and again.
So when you do flips together, does he get a special project in every house? Or is that just for the TV show?
It was mostly for the TV show, but no, actually, okay, so let's think about this pad split that he's working on right now. Are you familiar with pad split?
Absolutely. They had a meetup.
Across the street from GCU. GCU is this big private university. Right?
Yes, great college.
Great college. And he gets it directly across the street from there. So literally they finish school across the street and they're home. And he says, I need you to turn this 3-bedroom, 2-bathroom into whatever you can for a pad split. So we look at it and I said, okay, well, you still need common area. You still need a common kitchen, common living room. You still need a common laundry room. Other than that, I can do what I want. Yes. So we turned a 3-2 into a 6-5 with no additions. We just
Do you use
reconfigured
real
all the
walls or fake
Yeah,
walls?
no, we reframed it, and we were able to give him 6 bedrooms, 5 bathrooms. So 2 of the bedrooms have to share. So that was his special project in that house. Was I gave him a desk in every room so that the students
Oh.
could work in their own room and have an area where they could plug in their laptop and work.
Well, that's super smart because of the location, right?
Right.
So where the concept of pad split really works is near something where there's an anchor, right? Where you've got transient folks, whether that be travel nurses, college students. These are people that can definitely afford to pay the money for the space, but they don't necessarily need all the same things everybody else needs. They just need like almost dorm living.
Right.
I'd call it like sorority house living, but for, grown-ups.
Yeah, exactly. So we're really, this particular house is made for students, but that's exactly what you're saying. Travel nurses, business executives. So if you're looking for a particular niche market, then you have to make or renovate your house to facilitate that niche market. So if you're hoping for nurses, well, you're not going to get away with doing a subpar job, right? These are people that make good money. They wanna live
Absolutely.
in a beautiful house. So it's got to be done the right way.
And typically they have to sign like, I think it's like 18-month year contracts where they are. Actually, I met a travel nurse from Title Talk that reached out to me that was relocating to another state from Arizona. And that's exactly the kind of property he was looking for.
Okay.
Yeah. I mean,
right.
it's a really special profession too. They want to be, sometimes they don't have cars, so they want to be able to potentially walk or have transportation that's close. We are also thinking about, guys, I don't know if you are familiar with the Pad Split concept, but we're thinking about having the folks from Pad Split on Title Talk in the future. So leave us a comment if you want to hear from them in the future.
Wonderful. Wonderful.
And hello, Michael. It's nice to see you. Oh, Bobby's watching. We got backup Bobby here today as our producer, guys. Zach is in the house, which is really fun.
What else? So it looks like you're in the Phoenix market there. So you're the one that's getting outbid. You're in Phoenix. So you got a deal. You're sending me that deal? I don't have it yet.
Uh-oh. You got to text Rahima the deal. Guys, we are trying to have
Find me a deal
Rahima
today.
find a house live on Title Talk today.
Yeah. So come on, guys, get me a deal.
We've also got somebody here from Florida. And you're getting outbid in Florida, Indianapolis,
Wow. So
and
this
San Antonio.
So this isn't just
just us.
exclusive to Arizona. This is everywhere, huh?
Wow. Vibing with Ty. Appreciate that feedback. I'm really glad it's not just us.
Yeah. Okay.
All right, let's talk about your background. You know, your passion is really turning something that's like a hoarder house into something that's like beautiful
Right.
and functional
And functional. I mean, that's the key, right? Is function, because
on budget.
on budget, I really understand that having a house, a home, is probably the most important thing that we can offer a family from the beginning of their lives to the end, right? To have the security of a home that's well built, that isn't going to fall apart, that's been designed with some sort of an idea of longevity. Whether that longevity means they're going to stay in that house and their teenage kids are going to move back in, or their adult children are going to move back in, or they're going to end up living again communally, because housing is becoming expensive.
Oh, absolutely. And home ownership is essentially the American dream.
Right. But that dream doesn't necessarily translate to everybody.
And its affordability is a big challenge right now.
So when I have the opportunity to turn what was the traditional home model in America was a 3-bedroom, 2-bathroom house, right? That was it. That was the tradition. And when I can turn that into a 4-bedroom, 3-bathroom house, or a 5-bedroom, 4-bathroom house, I'll do it every time. And sometimes people say, you don't need that much, but we just don't know what each family's life is. Like, maybe they're going to have to take in a tenant to make that mortgage payment. Maybe a child is going to have to come back home. Maybe the child's going to get that house as part of their inheritance, but then as part of it, they have to look after their aging parents.
Mhm.
Right? My parents live with me.
Generational living.
Generational living. It's going to be more and more common. So I think that if we're ignoring that facet, then we're making a mistake.
Well, I think that right now, I mean, and Lennar's done a great job of this. There's a couple other home builders that have done this from a, large, massive product standpoint, but it's not just 1 and 2 generations, it's now 3. So you've got the parents living with you and your kids that are coming back home after college.
I mean, I keep saying that. That's a reality that we have to think about. And ADUs are becoming more popular in Arizona right now. If you've got an alley at the back of your house, you can actually build your ADU right up to that wall as if it was a garage. So that we didn't have that before.
No.
We didn't have the ability to do that. You had setbacks from that wall so that you couldn't go all the way up. But now you can treat that alleyway as if this was a garage, and you can build right up to the wall. So we're doing that. We're building ADUs. It costs, for a decent ADU about $30,000, and it's worth it, because they've got either another place for a family member to live or additional income to help offset a mortgage.
And thank you so much. Is it Joe Figueroa, hit the like button. Yes, thank you for that. Hit the like, hit the share. We hope you guys are having fun with us today on Title Talk Thursday with Rahima. Hit the like, hit the share, hit the love. That's how we get to do more of these, guys, is when we know you're enjoying it.
Yeah, absolutely. Come on, guys. Like, show us that you love us.
Show the love for the celebrity in the house today, too. All right, let's talk about budget.
Oh, yeah.
Do you always stay on budget with your projects?
I try to. Then Jamil comes in.
With his special projects?
I mean, I had a kitchen all lined up and he's like, no, I need a higher end kitchen. So that's going to double my budget. My kitchen was budgeted at $4,000. My new kitchen's coming in at $8,000. I understand his point of view is that I need the common areas to be a little bit high end so that I keep the person wanting to come and live there. I get it. But at the end of the day, I'm going to have to say to him, I'm going to need more money now. And
is he going to have to go find it?
Right. It doesn't always translate where I'm spending more money, so I'm going to need more money. That doesn't always translate. But budget is important, guys, when you're doing a flip. I've said it probably a million times. These are not legacy projects. You are not doing this so that you can put your name on it and become
Franklin, right?
Right. This
not
is
it.
A business. So hit the big ticket items that you know you're going to get called on an inspection. Make sure the roof is serviced or replaced. Make sure the AC is serviced or replaced. Make sure the plumbing is in good shape. Make sure you don't have one of those electrical panels that spontaneously ignites.
Combusts.
Right? If you have one of those Zinco panels, get rid of it, get a new panel in. Those are your big ticket items. Make sure those work, and everything else. Now you do what you can to stay in budget and sell the house.
But you do have a couple special things that you're kind of known for.
Yeah, I mean, I try to do a mudroom, right? And how do I do a mudroom? I buy those shallow cabinets from Home Depot. They're $80. I buy 4 of those, $320, and some hooks from Amazon. So under $500, I can give you a mudroom.
That's a tip right there for any of you fix and flippers.
Yeah, I mean, there are ways for you to add special touches. I think Jamil called them razzle dazzle, without spending a bunch of money. And those are the things that the buyer is like, oh, but I really liked the fact that they had that mudroom, because I feel like when the kids get home, they can drop their stuff off and come into the house. So you have to think of yourself as that buyer. What do you want? What does the neighborhood call for? Is there a school right there? It's an elementary school, so chances are you're going to sell to a younger family that has elementary school kids. Well, then think like that parent.
Yeah, you need a place to collect all the shoes.
Yeah, you think like that parent. Like, what is that parent going to want? Think that way, and then make it your property so that it works for the location that it's in.
I love it. So, what's the biggest budget you've ever blown due to something maybe you didn't know about getting into a deal?
I know exactly which house I'm going to tell you about. It was a house in West Phoenix. We bought it sight unseen. It was the very last house I ever bought sight unseen. It was a tile stucco house. It was built in early 2000s. Seemed like a no-brainer, right? Should be easy.
Yeah, seems simple.
When we got there, they had already closed the property. Now I'm walking it with the buyer who's our investor, and I'm flipping it for them. So this house didn't have water probably for the last 3 years that the family lived there.
What?
Yep.
They lived there without water.
Lived there without water.
So they couldn't
now,
flush a toilet. They couldn't.
Nope. They couldn't wash their clothes. They couldn't have a shower. All the things that we take for granted when it comes to water, they couldn't do. The AC had leaked. So it was a 2-story house. The second story landing had been completely dissolved from water and whatever the AC was leaking.
How did they get up there?
They had like a small little area where they would like tiptoe around. When you opened the bathroom doors, it was just used toilet paper. When you opened the bedroom doors, it was just used clothing because they didn't have a way to wash their clothes. And it didn't occur to them to live in any other way except just hoard the clothes. Every possible known feces of every possible insect and animal was in that house.
Oh, okay. So I feel like if we had like a smell emoji, it would be aromating of the situation.
And we had to have hazmat suits when we went in.
After you closed.
after we closed. And so once we started actually taking the stuff out of the house in hazmat suits, in masks, and in with respirators on, then we noticed that there's rats the size of cats in the house.
Rats the size of cats.
Yeah, and they would run out of the windows and jump into neighboring pools.
Wow.
So they'd be swimming in the neighbors. Yeah, it was literally the worst house and I blew that budget. That budget was $50,000, and it cost us nearly $150,000 when we were because every single aspect of that house needed to be replaced. All the plumbing, all the electrical, the roof, the HVAC.
The cleanup alone had to cost
It was
you
15 grand to clean out that house.
Wow. So this is a great tip. So that was the last house you bought sight unseen.
Yep. It didn't matter. And it doesn't matter to me now if there's, I mean, even the house that we went to today, I still peered in the windows.
Yeah.
I still looked at the windows. I looked at the roof. I looked at the HVAC.
You
So I could
figured
tell.
out
I
the
could figure out.
HVAC was working
Yes.
today. The air conditioning was running. You could have played with the hose bib to see if there's water.
Yep.
So why would somebody buy a house sight unseen?
You know, I mean, you're thinking it's built in the 2000s. It's tile stucco. It's a fairly new build. How bad could it be? I just finished telling you how bad it could be. So, man, if you can just put your eyes on it somehow, drive it, do something so you get an idea of what you're walking into. Because it's funny because when the buyer that was with me saw, I mean, they lost all blood. Like they
Oh,
they
I
were
can
white-
imagine.
white as a sheet when we left that house.
Casper.
Yep.
This is
And-
after they've signed, after they've paid all the money.
Mhm.
af-
They own
yeah,
it.
they own it.
They're legal owners now. And he says to me, "Did you see the washer and dryer? They look brand new." And I said, "I didn't notice it. No, but that's good. Right? We got a washer
At
and
least
dryer out of it."
the buyer had a sense of humor.
Yeah. And after we actually started the flip, he kept asking, like, "The washer and dryer is good." And I'm like, "I don't want to tell you, there are nests of rats in the washer and
The
dryer.
size of cats.
Nothing can be saved in the house. Nothing."
Wow.
So yeah, that was the budget I blew.
Well, I don't think that was your fault. I
In the
think
end,
that
everybody made $80.
$80.
$80. That was the.
So your time was worth.
I mean, there was no profit in that house. Nothing.
Wow. 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 Wow.
Okay. Let's
Oh, wait.
see.
Somebody texted you a deal. That
Okay.
house was on triple digit flip.
Oh, Montebello. Okay. Okay.
All right. She's looking at your deal right now. She's excited.
290,
thi-
392. Nice spread. Okay. Comp sold today at 365. So the
We're
comp
gonna-
sold at 365. You're giving me an ARV of 392. What's the difference between the ARV of your subject and the comp? Because there's a $30,000 difference there. Can you tell me why? Let me know. Text me. Tell me why it's 30 grand. Because am I going to be stuck at selling at 365? If I am, then this is going to be a really tight deal. So text me as to why. I'm waiting for your text. Thank you.
I love that though. All right. So that was a major renovation,
That was a major innovation.
which leads me to the subject of how do you handle mechanics liens?
Oh man, how many of you guys have been 48 hours from close, and now the title company's like, "We need an indemnity from every one of the contractors, and we need it before we can close." And you're like, yeah. So how do we get around that? I love it when our investor keeps the title open so that he gets a hold open policy.
So do you guys know that's an option out there? It is,
So
and it
you-
saves you money.
So you closed it, and now you let the title company know, "Hey, I'm gonna turn around and renovate this house. So could you just give me a hold open policy?" What is the typical savings if you do a hold open?
I think it's about 30% different on the second leg. So
30%.
yeah,
So you're saving
it's-
30% on your closing costs right off the bat, the start. Now, Fidelity offers discounted rates for buyers.
for
right?
investors,
And-
yeah,
And what about for the actual buyer who's buying the retail property? Would you give
If
them a
it's-
rate too?
only if they're an investor.
Only if they're an investor.
Yeah.
So now as the seller, you have to convince that buyer to let you pick the title company.
Mhm.
You know how I get around that? I say, hey, look, they've already got the policy opened, but they're going to pay the mobile notary for you. So the seller's going to pay all the mobile notary costs. You don't have to schlep over to wherever they'll come to you. And that's usually enough because buyers they're not invested in any particular.
No, and most people prefer today. I mean, it's a mobile notary and that they don't have to go in.
Right.
I mean, ever since COVID happened, I mean, that's the majority. They don't want to go to an office necessarily. There are a few that they want to physically go into an office, but for the most part, people would prefer the convenience of having somebody go to them
right.
and go through all that
And that's
documentation.
$150 that they're
Yeah.
saving. $150. So you're saying to the agent, because this is the retail side of this now, right? You've already done the flip. You've done the flip, and you're saying in your realtor's writing in the comments, please consider blah 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 from Fidelity as the title company of choice. Seller will pay mobile notary costs, and you write all that information of who the seller, what the address and the phone number and what not of the escrow officer that you're using at Fidelity. Now, if they still ignore that when they give you the offer, you can put it in your counter that, hey, we're accepting all your terms. The only thing I need you to do is change the title company. And they might give you a hard time, but usually really buyers aren't that worried about who title is.
Yeah, they don't really understand.
They don't understand.
And-
So
until they need to.
Right. And so the reason I say to you is get a hold open is that you now are letting that title company know I'm renovating this house. I'm going
Yes.
to come back to you to sell it. So you get those mechanics liens done as you're renovating your house. And so after your HVAC is done, it's been paid, you have him sign off and say, yeah, done and paid. And you send that over to your escrow company. And that went then 48 hours before your closing, you're at the pool with a margarita.
Instead of
Not-
being stressed out.
Instead of being stressed out and chasing around, because now that buyer is like, why are we holding up closing? Oh, the seller needs to come up with all the indemnity clauses for the renovation. Oh, man, you mean I could get sued after the closing because this seller didn't pay all the trades? I don't want to buy this house.
Yeah, and
the
then they'll
last thing
get
you wanna
cold
do
feet.
is spook your buyer, your retail buyer. So if you can just start that relationship with your escrow officer from day one, you will save money and you will save time and you will save stress.
Yeah. So a couple things, if you guys are fix and flipping, I agree wholeheartedly with what Rahima said, that you want to just make sure that you're keeping track of, right? You've communicated with your escrow officer. You've let them know this is my intention is to, enhance this property. Okay. Then you're going to start a budget and you're going to actually put in the budget all of your list of trades and every single check that you wrote, right? Because at the end of the line, you're going to have to provide those to title so you don't have what's called broken priority. We want to make sure that everybody's protected in that particular situation because as the seller, part of your closing package is going to be that you're signing off on saying that, no work has been done in the last 150 days. And you can't do that in good faith without disclosing all of that stuff, right? So in Arizona, we are a full disclosure state. So you have to disclose that you've done work on the property. And this is a great way to just kind of keep track of everything.
And keep it nice and clean. I mean, the more honest you are when you're selling to a retail buyer, the less likely you are to get sued.
Yep. Have your budget written down. It could be in the notes in an app. It could be on a spreadsheet. How do you do your budgets?
On my phone,
Yeah.
on my notes. And that
Mhm.
way, when I'm talking to the seller about the spuds, we can list out every single thing that we did in the property. And we don't necessarily give them a value on the spuds. But when I do my appraisal, I will give the appraiser every single thing that we did at the property and then what we spent in the property. And I hand that to the appraiser.
Which is super smart because then you're able to show them how you've enhanced the asset.
Right. And you really do need to, guys, I know a lot of people don't like to talk to the appraiser because they're like, oh, it's sticky. Should we talk to them? Is it allowed? And so the appraiser calls you and says, hey, I've been assigned to appraise this property. And you can just feel out the appraiser. Hey, such and such, would it be okay with you if I was to give you a list of the renovations and what the seller put into the property? Would that be okay with you? And if that appraiser's like, no, absolutely not. I don't want to have any discussions about anything to do with this property with you as a listing agent. I've never had an appraiser say that to me.
They'll appreciate it because you're helping do work for them.
Yep. In fact, they say, absolutely, send that to me and any comps that you have that you're using when you started your, how you came up with your list price. Send the comps, send that. So by you keeping track of how much money you're spending and what you're doing in the property, you're assisting your retail seller in their disclosures, as well as getting the appraisal that they want. Because the last thing you want is, hey man, we didn't appraise. And you've already accepted the Binzer. You're all done. These guys are moving.
You see dollar signs.
Everybody's ready to go. And now, oh, we didn't appraise. Oh my God, are you kidding? We didn't appraise? And so having your ducks in a row from the beginning is going to help you all the way through.
Well, and that's, something that I think a lot of fix and flippers are really focused on is the dollars, right? But you still got to have your ducks in a row and prove what you did with the house, right? So I know there's got to be somebody out there that's watching this that's like, well, they're never going to know that I actually rehabbed this house and that there were...
Why is the house in the middle of nowhere?
There
It's
were
like
hoarders.
It's a little house on the prairie with no neighbors, because believe me, the day that new family walks in, the day that moving truck shows up, every neighbor in the house is going to come out. Oh my God, this house used to have rats the size of cats in it. Oh my God, the family that used to live here was so filthy. Oh, they did a lot of work in this house. You know that roof? They put a new roof over the old roof. I hope that does not cause you any problems. And that HVAC system, when that lady who used to live here, she said the HVAC never worked. I hope it works for you. I mean, unless your house is in the middle of nowhere and you feel comfortable lying, because that's what you're basically doing by not disclosing. A lie of omission is a lie.
A lie is a lie is a lie.
So and then if this buyer then turns around and says, hey, you didn't give me any of this information and I have affidavits from these people, you're going to get sued. 100% you're going to get sued. Don't put yourself in that situation. Just be forthright and honest. If it's not the buyer for you, the next buyer will be.
As Jamil would probably say, like, don't be a doofus.
Don't be a doofus. Don't be a doofus. Do it the right way. Always do it the right way. Sleep at night.
Well, and honestly, you're having buyers walk through the property most of the time way before you actually close, right? So in that particular case, they might be going to the neighbors and having those conversations, and you might
You
not
lost power,
know
babe, on this.
you might not know, but they've already talked to the neighbors and they've said, oh my gosh, this particular house had a problem. Well, here's what happens on the title side.
Okay.
They can do random inspections, right?
Who can do that?
Title. Sometimes title reports will come back and it will say, as a condition of insurance, we have to do an inspection. And then the title officer at that point will order the inspection. And if they see construction workers, if they see piles of wood, if they see shovels, if they see anything happening, that's going to trigger what's called in the title world broken priority.
I had no idea.
Yep.
I've never had that happen.
And well, maybe it happened, but you didn't know because you had all your ducks in a row.
Right.
Right. That, I mean, maybe it was a condition because you disclosed it. But this is also something that can be super random, and it could have to do with purchase price. It could have to do with, the loan amount being higher than the purchase price. It could be a higher value for the neighborhood than what's normal. There's a million different things that could trigger title to say, in order for us to insure, we need a physical inspection. And the second you haven't disclosed that you're doing work at the property and provided all the documentation, then it's a problem.
Yep. You're right.
Yeah.
And then that also protects everybody from somebody who comes back and says, I did work on this house.
Yes.
And he or she didn't do work on this house, but they're trying to get, because they know that it's going, sometimes they put a lien on the property for a few $1,000s and they're like, we're going to get paid out because they want to sell the house. to be able to say, no, this is who I used for this particular job, not you. So this is a false claim. I mean, guys, the more you protect yourself, the more you take notes, the more you keep notes, the better off the whole transaction is going to be, because this is a huge, huge purchase for most people in their lives. They buy one, maybe two, maybe three houses in their entire lifetime. This is huge for them. So keeping it and doing it right and keeping good records is never a bad idea. It's always a good idea. Don't be a doofus.
Don't be a
Don't be a
doofus.
doofus.
It's like he's here with us.
Yeah, I miss him. I really do miss my brother. I saw him briefly between Europe and Montana, and it was so nice to have him in my house. It was so nice to see him. What else we got?
Well, I think, what else are you in the mood for today? I think we should
talk about Dina's birthday.
It's my
in
birthday.
Vegas.
Yes. Well, let's talk about something I'm not excited about. I'm not excited about having this particular birthday this year, guys. I'm not going to tell you how old I am, but what I have decided to do that's even like making me excited about my birthday is I'm doing a charity event.
Oh yeah,
And it's going to be at St. Vincent de Paul
okay,
next Thursday morning.
okay,
So we are doing heat relief kits for the homeless folks.
okay. Let me put that
Thursday
in my phone.
morning at 9 a.m. And they're in Central Phoenix. So I'm super excited. I was actually over at Midwest Food Bank yesterday with my friends over there. They're going to be helping us provide water bottles and vitamin water and food
What
for
time
these
is it at?
packs. 9 a.m.
9 a.m. And can you give us the address?
Yes.
9 a.m. August the 3rd.
Yes. I will actually have Zach drop the link in the chat for everybody too.
St. Vincent de Paul.
St. Vincent de Paul in Phoenix. So it's going to be really, really fun. We're going to be, I'm asking everybody, this is going to be fun too. It's like clean out your kitchen, right?
Okay.
You probably have extra koozies you're never going to use. You probably have
What's a koozie?
like a koozie. It's like the thing that goes around the drink. You know what? My mom asked me the same thing. And I sent her a picture and she said, that looks like a coffee mug. And I'm like, no, it's like an insulated foam thing that goes around like, a drink.
So I'm probably closer to your mom's age than to your age.
She didn't know what a koozie was.
What's the address?
It is, let me pull it up for you. So I've got so many emails about this event that it's actually kind of hard for me to find it.
I can't wait.
And then
Okay, so we're in Arizona right now. It hasn't reached below 92 degrees even in the middle of the night. It's hot. It's hotter than 92 degrees. And I want you to think about during the day when it's 118 degrees and we're like, oh, it's so hot. And we're going from our air-conditioned car to our air-conditioned world. And we have a huge issue with people that are, for whatever reason, not able to find housing.
Yeah.
And really, it's for whatever reason. It doesn't really matter at that point what the reason is. They are out there and they are out there day and night. So whatever we can do, please, let's just team up and do it. What is the word? Squad up.
Squad up.
Squad up, and let's do what we have to do.
Well, I think we're live in Wholesale Hotline right now, so they'll probably understand squad up.
There you go.
So the address is 2120 South 3rd Drive in
Okay.
Phoenix, Arizona.
Okay.
We do have to have everybody registered for this event because they do require that for
How do we do
the
that? How do we
charity.
register?
So we're going to do Fidelity Gives Day. It's going to be August the 3rd. And I'm going to have Zach drop this in the chat.
When Dina's done texting this information,
Yes.
I want you to take a look at her nails.
Oh, they're
'Cause
kind of
Look
fun.
at that.
They're Barbies.
Yeah, she's gonna tell us she went to see the movies. I didn't make it because it was on a
We
Sunday
missed you.
afternoon, and I had to deal with some construction work that came out of nowhere. And she had a group of how many girls?
14.
14 beautiful, lovely ladies dressed up as their favorite Barbie.
Yes. I
This
said, be
wasn't
your
just-
own version.
It wasn't just going to the movies, ladies. It was dressing up as your favorite Barbie, going to the movies, and
And it was fun.
Who was the most inventive Barbie?
Well, my mom was workout Barbie. That was super cute.
Okay. So leg warmers,
leg warmers, the headbands, she had the big
definitely closer to your mom's
ponytail.
age.
She had the
Okay.
ponytail on the top of her head. That was super fun. We had Disco Barbie. That was Lizzie was Disco Barbie.
Okay.
That was super
I was going to
creative.
be construction Barbie. I had the tight vest,
Yes.
the jeans, and the boots, and I
So
was really
fun.
sad that I didn't make it.
I was in kind of like a rainbow outfit with sequins and lots of glitter. So I decided I was Unicorn Barbie
Nice.
for
I
the
like
day.
it.
That was
Okay.
fun. We had my friend Brooke, who is a flight attendant, by the way. She wanted to go as like Western chic bohemian Barbie.
Okay. She
That
pull
was
it off?
super, totally pulled it off.
Beautiful.
We had Hawaiian
Beautiful.
Barbie. We had, I just told all these girls, I said, just be whatever kind of version of Barbie you want to be.
I love that.
Whatever it is that you love.
Any of you gone to see the Barbie movie yet? If you did something fun like she did, let us know. I'd love to hear about it.
Yeah, it was fun. I learned a lot about Barbies. And my friend Christy brought the original Barbie. That was fabulous. I've never seen the original Barbie.
So what is the original Barbie wearing?
A swimsuit,
Oh yeah.
black and white swimsuit. I never knew that. And her shoes were not like accessories. They were actually part of her feet. So I
Oh.
grew up in the era where you had to change their shoes, which I loved because, plain dress up, big fan. You couldn't change her shoes. You could not change her shoes. Yes, but my nails matched my outfit.
I love
Unicorn
them.
and
They're
sparkly.
Gorgeous.
Yeah. So
okay, so how do we sign up?
I think that Zach is going to drop that in the notes. But guys, clean out your extra hats that you're not using, golf towels, sunglasses from like some random golf tournament. Bring all that stuff with you because we can repurpose that and put that into these bags for the homeless folks.
Are we dealing with kids here too?
All kinds.
Okay.
So typically, like in my car, I always keep 3 kits for like if I see somebody that's homeless on the corner and it's safe for me to, safely give them something. I have a kit that's for men, a kit that's for women, and a kit that's for families.
Okay.
Because you just don't know. But
So
right now,
toothbrushes,
yep,
toothbrushes, toothpaste,
deodorant,
sunscreen, socks.
socks. Yep.
Okay.
Yeah, all of those are really, really great things that we can really make somebody's day with. St. Vincent de Paul does a really great job of just providing dignity and solutions. They're a wonderful charity that's nationwide, but here specifically, like I've done a lot of really fun events with them, and they're gonna kind of let us take over their Hall of Banners and play some fun music and keep the energy up and keep volunteers working. And I'm just super grateful to like celebrate my birthday in a new way that people can give back together.
Wonderful. I can't wait. I'll be there early. I'll get there before 8:30.
Yes. So if you want a tour, you can actually come at 8.
Okay.
So they'll give you a tour of the whole campus.
Okay.
And then they're also welcoming anybody to stay for lunch or to serve lunch. So they serve thousands of meals a day for the working poor. And they happen to have a lunch service right after we're done with our volunteer events. You can stay for lunch. You can enjoy lunch and give back.
Wonderful.
So that's what I'm way more excited about.
So what I really want you to do, I really want you to think about this. I really want you to just take 5 minutes and think about what if it was me? What if it was you? What if? And really like reach deep down in your hearts and buy what we need to buy. These are kids. So kids' clothes.
They can take anything.
Shoes,
they can take anything.
What else?
Sunscreen, deodorant. We've got a donation of really fancy, beautiful soap. We need washcloths though.
Okay, washcloths. Okay.
Yeah, washcloths, Ziploc bags to put things in these packs. We can't take really big things like, insulated water bottles like this are also great if you've got extra water bottles from your kids at sports that you're never going to use. You probably have like a tub of them if you've got kids in sports, but that kind of stuff is also really helpful because we do have water and vitamin drinks that have been donated.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right. So guys, let's do it. Let's make, here, we could bring your beanie and new diapers. Yes. Okay. Wonderful. And here, you're going to change the.
Oh no. Oh, you're bringing the baby with the diapers.
The reason I'm laughing is because the last time we had Title Talk, she told us something that we wouldn't know about her, and that was that she's never changed a baby's diaper. And I don't know if this made it to last week's Title Talk, but I changed all of Jamil's diapers. I was the diaper changer of Jamil. So
she was the diaper genie before he was the wholesale genie.
Absolutely, I was the diaper genie before he was the wholesale genie. And so, bring diapers, and we'll have. Can we watch you change a diaper?
I don't think we're gonna have doll. I've done doll diapers.
You have, okay.
Yes, I've done doll diapers, done adult diapers, just not children's diapers.
Okay.
I don't think this is baby friendly event. I think they have to be like at least of the age where they can
Okay.
help and volunteer.
But
and
they do accept diapers, right?
Oh yeah, they accept
Okay,
everything. Yep, they
perfect.
accept formula,
So-
diapers.
So I want you to just reach really deep into your heart, guys. Be super, super generous. It's really hot out here. So anything that we can do to help these people, we got to do it. Just do it.
Yeah, people are literally dying in the streets right now.
Yeah. I mean, if this was,
Hats, great idea.
if this was a different situation and we lost as many people as we're losing to heat exhaustion, because your heart literally stops, like your organs stop. There's organ failure in this type of heat.
Yep.
If this was a different situation, we would be up in arms. But we're just accepting it, and we can't accept this. We have to do something. So please, everybody, and yes, remember the pets. Absolutely remember the pets. So
Oh, they do actually have a shelter for companion animals. I think they're the only shelter that we have here in Arizona where they can actually welcome our homeless
Wow.
neighbors with their pets, because that's the hardest thing. They don't, most places don't have a opportunity for the pets. And yes, that those animals are companions. They are family members.
okay.
And yeah.
So I'm going to rent a truck, a big U-Haul truck, and I'm going to do everything I can to fill it up.
Oh!
I'm going to go talk to all the investors. I'm going to go talk to Keegley. When is this? How many days do I have?
A week.
A week. I got a week, guys. Anybody who feels like helping me, help me. 310-869-2080. Drop me a line. We'll find a way to pick the stuff up from you, and we will show St. Vincent de Paul just how much we care about the people in Arizona.
Yep.
Okay,
Absolutely.
wonderful.
I love it. Yay.
Okay, great.
Well,
Let's
thank
do
you
it.
guys so much for being here. Let's thank
Is that
Rahima.
right? Are we done?
I think.
How did that go so fast?
I don't know. When time flies when you're having fun.
I'm always wait. Don't say bye yet, because you always have to tell me one thing that we don't know about you.
No, but I think we got to start with you this
What's the
time.
last thing I googled?
What's the last thing you Googled?
Let's see.
I think the last thing I Googled was the link for this registration, but I'll double check and make sure.
Did I not Google anything? Oh, I I'm gonna tell you what I Googled. I Googled, what does it mean when your right palm is itchy? Because there's
What
a
does that mean?
superstition. If your right palm is itchy, money's coming. If your left palm is itchy, money's going. And so my right palm was itchy. I was like scratching my palm. Literally, I was scratching my palm on the way here, and I'm like, what does that mean again? Am I gonna lose money or make money?
No, you're making money
Yeah,
because you're
making
doing
money
that
because it
deal with
Yes, I'm gonna
our
do
friend
that
that's
deal with
watching
you.
Title Talk live right now.
And so yeah, I'm supposed to. But you know what? I will gladly give all the money that's coming into this amazing charity that's happening in a week.
Thank you. Thank you.
Absolutely.
Last thing I Googled was actually the proofs of my Barbie photo shoot. Which eventually
Let me
they will
see- let me
they will
see
be
your Barbie.
online. They're
Oh
very
my
silly.
God.
They're very fun and very
Oh
silly.
my God, you look so good. You're gonna show these online? This
Yeah.
woman's legs. I was telling her when I walked in that if I had legs like you, I would literally wear a swimsuit everywhere I went. I would just be like naked. I'd be naked. Look at my legs.
You could have
I'm
been a
naked.
swimsuit Barbie.
I don't have those legs. I'm not that fortunate. I'm not blessed. Well, this was an amazing hour.
It was so
I had
fun.
so much fun with you. Thank you for the deal. I see that the way I'm going to make that ARV is if I do a 100 square foot bedroom. So I need to make this into a 4-2 instead of a 3-2. Okay, so then I probably wouldn't do a 100 square foot bedroom. I probably, if I had enough room on that lot, did you give me a lot size? It's a little small lot, but if I could fit in a bed bath, I would do a bed bath so that I would change it from a 3-2 to a 4-3. That would be my jam. So thank you for the address. I'll go drive it on the way home.
I love it. We're getting deals done live on Title Talk.
Thank you so much for joining us. Is Jamil going to be here for the next one?
He is supposed to be back for the next one.
Okay,
Yeah.
well, if you guys enjoy me, then let Jamil know that you enjoy me and that he'll invite me back sometimes, because he doesn't let me cut out too often, and I really love coming to these.
Well, I love that you're here.
Thank you so
Yeah,
much,
this
guys.
was fun. Thank you.